talk about Shantae and True in this last episode, the season finale of Love After Lockup. And Shantae and True are supposed to be doing this live on their YouTube channel tonight, and they act like they're supposed to be answering all the hot questions that everybody wants answers to, and they said that they can finally speak on everything now that this season is over. So I'm probably going to come back towards like the end of this video and update you guys on any like big revelations that were shared in this live. But let's go ahead and get into the season finale. So we find out that Shantae was up in Cape hanging out with True, and she gave him a ride to the store, and when he went inside, he still had his phone connected to Bluetooth in his car. And while he's shopping, Shantae's sitting in the car and True's on the phone talking about going to pick up some girl after he drops off Shantae, and Shantae can hear every single word that was said. So of course she's upset. When True comes out to the car, she confronts him, and he's like, well, you know, I've been in prison for 13 years. I'm just trying to have my fun, and I expect you to wait on me while I do what I want to do. And Shantae was like, you really think I'm going to wait on you? True didn't even have to answer that question because he already knew the answer. We already knew the answer. We already know Shantae is not going anywhere, and that's why True repeatedly takes Shantae for granted. We don't know exactly who he cheated with, but I know Shantae 2.0 told me that she was sleeping with him for a while, and he was hooking up with another girl, and him, Shantae 2.0, and this other girl even had a threesome at one point. So when the producers asked True who he had cheated on Shantae with, I feel like the real reason he didn't want to give details is because he didn't want to say like one girl and then another girl be like, well, I hooked up with him. Why is he saying this girl when I thought I was his girl? I think he's messed with too many girls at this point that he doesn't want them finding out about each other. And I forgot, I'm getting ahead of myself. Before Shantae found out about True's cheating, she decided to go over to Peppa's house to see who Peppa really is, because she was kind of scared, thinking this is another side piece, because all the girls that True had been living with since he'd been out of prison were girls that he was hooking up with. So Shantae was actually pleasantly surprised when she shows up and she sees that Peppa is actually, you know, like a tomboy, or it looks like she's into girls and she's like a stud. And she goes in there, she's looking at True's room, and then after she leaves and she finds out that True had been cheating on her, she has the audacity to call Peppa's place a crack house. And I didn't like that at one bit, because Peppa let Shantae come inside her place with the cameras. She didn't have to even do that. She kept her place clean. You know, she had like the basics of everything. But then Shantae, after this girl was nice to you, you turn around and just shit on her in her place. I didn't like that one bit. After Shantae left Peppa's and she was hanging with True and she found out he was cheating, and he pretty much admitted it to her face, and afterwards Shantae went and dropped him off, and then she realized that he had left a bag in her car. So she's like, I gotta go take this bag back to True. And I was just like, no, you don't, girl. You could have just kept that bag of clothes. I bet it was nothing really important. I just feel like Shantae wanted an excuse to see that man again. And somebody shared a TikTok on a Facebook group. I wish I could find the link, but it was so funny because there's this girl and she was like doing a parody, and she's like, yeah, I don't want to see you ever again, but I got this one sock you left. I'm going to bring you your sock. Are you going to come get this sock? Or I'm gonna, you know, and it's just like doing the most over a sock. And that's how I felt like it was with Shantae and this little Dollar General bag of clothes that she had of True. So she goes over to Peppa's to drop off this bag, and she acted like, oh, I'm just gonna drop this bag off and keep it moving. I never want to see True again. But after she drops the bag off, she's like walking as slow as possible away from the door. She's doing everything in her power to try to be seen and try to make time to run into True before she left. That's what it seemed like to me. And then when she did finally go back to her car, instead of driving off, she's sitting right in front of his house talking on the phone. She's outside doing interviews in front of his house, just doing everything to be seen. So finally, True came out and gave her the attention she was craving. He's like, what are you doing here? And who are you talking to, telling our business? And Shantae was like, I'm talking to my bestie, telling her that you cheated. And True was calling her a liar. And then she's like, come on, you admitted it. And he's like, well, yeah, but you're the one that made me do this, gaslighting her into making her believe it was all her fault. But the only reason he continues to do this is because she makes it completely acceptable in their relationship. It seems like she'll just get mad at him for a day or two and then she'll just move on. And she's even came out in her lives before and said, well, plenty of people get cheated on in their relationships. But not only is this man cheating on you, but he's coming out and laughing right to your face after cheating on you and admitting it to you and just doing what he can to gaslight and hurt you even more. And you keep allowing this to happen. There's no way I'm about to let a man wearing a handkerchief around his hand and 3 watches play in my face like that. And Shantae had every chance to drive her away, but she's sitting there going back and forth with this man. And True was like, well, let's at least leave on good terms. Come give me a hug. And Shantae was like, you think that I'm just supposed to come up there and hug you so you can try to bring your funky ass back into my life, try to weasel your way back in. And, True already knows that's exactly what he's thinking because he knows it's worked for him every time in the past. Like, Shantae drove off, but we already know she's going to be hitting him back up here in a day or two. And even True said that. He's like, yeah, don't be calling me saying you're sorry and that you want to come back all of a sudden. And he admitted to the producers when he was asked if he cheated on Shantae, and he said yes. But when they were like, okay, spill the tea, what's the details? He didn't want to go any further. He said the game is to be sold, not told. And like I said, I feel like it's because it's a lot more women than he wants to admit or that Shantae knows about, and he doesn't want to expose any more than what has already came out. And Shantae ends up driving off, and she said that, oh, I should have listened to everybody. Everybody told me. Like, how many times have we heard her say this now? It's been at least like 3 or 4 times this season. And if Shantae would have just listened to people instead of getting mad at all the fans and bloggers for telling their opinions, then maybe she wouldn't be going through this situation. But she wants to get mad at everybody else. But the real person she needs to be mad at is True. I'm glad they're not coming back. I mean, they gave us a lot to talk about, but it was the same thing every week. And as time was going on, True wasn't wanting to open up about his cheating. And, he's like, oh, the game's to be sold, not told. Well, what do you think they're paying you for this TV show? They're paying you to tell your story. Spill the tea. And I don't know, maybe he might open up more about it on his live, but I really doubt it. And Shantae and True were just showing off that they got engaged on their YouTube channel. I really hope that True is able to be faithful to Shantae, but I don't have much hope. If a baby could not make him stay faithful, then I don't think a ring will either. And a lot of people are still doubting if Shantae was even pregnant to begin with, because at the end of the episode, when they did the update, Shantae said that she is, what'd she say? She said that she is no longer pregnant and she said she lost the babies because the doctors couldn't find a heartbeat, and then they just cut her off real short. Like, it seemed like she was in mid-sentence, and I wish we could have got more of an explanation because it just kind of left everybody guessing. Like I said, they're supposed to be going live here in a few hours, and I'll be back to share some updates from their live and what they end up talking about. But I don't think True is ready for a relationship, let alone a marriage. So I just got done listening to True and Shantae's YouTube live. They went live for like 2 or 3 hours, and they answered a lot of questions. I think I'm going to save a lot of what they said for a separate video because it's a lot. But the main things that stuck out to me was Shantae claimed that she never got pregnant again after she miscarried. So she never had a baby. And she said that True said that the show was offering him $8,000 to break up with Shantae and sign a contract that he wouldn't speak with her for 3 years. So they're literally trying to pull them away from each other. And he said that he did not take the $8,000. And Shantae claims that she's been living with True ever since she found out she was pregnant, and she claims when she originally found out she was pregnant, she said she was with True, so she just had to reenact her calling True when he was sitting his big ass up on that car at the gas station. She said that he had already known at that point that she was pregnant. But that's it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think about everything in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.